morning everyone. Welcome back to another video where I recommend children's books that you can read online with your library card, give you ideas for activities to do at home, and tell bad jokes. Today we are getting creative and I'm recommending some books about art and creativity and your imagination. So if you're feeling crafty, here we go. Our joke today goes like this. Where do cows hang their artwork? In a museum. So our first book today is a picture book called Arts Supplies by Chris Turgis. And you can read this picture book on Tumble Books. And it's about a kid named Art who likes to paint and draw and everything, and all of his art supplies one day, they come to life. And his pencils and his paints and his crayons and brushes and markers all spring into action and they create a mess and a masterpiece. And so this book is all about creativity and joy and being messy and creating something together, a little bit of teamwork. If you liked the book The Day the Crayons Quit by Drew Daywalt, you'll like this one. The art supplies talk the same way the crayons in those books do, and they've got quite a lot of personality, and they're chatting away. Our next book is a little more contemplative, and it's called The Dot by Peter Reynolds. And this one's on Tumble Books as well, and it's about a little girl named Vashti who is sitting in her art class, and she is kind of stymied. She's got her blank piece of paper and she doesn't know what to do, and she says, "I'm not an artist, I can't make art, I can't do this." And she's sitting there, everyone else is done, but she hasn't created anything. And her teacher tells her to just make one mark and see where it takes you. So Vashti kind of reluctantly takes that advice, and that one little dot that she draws ends up being the beginning of a whole journey of artistic self-discovery. Peter Reynolds has also written a couple of other books sort of along similar lines, so all about creativity and self-expression for kids. So if you like The Dot, which I hope you do, you should check out some of his other books as well. Our last book is a little bit more abstract. It's called Windblown by Edouard Manceau. And you can read this book on Library to Go. It is a simple, deceptively simple picture book where a collection of shapes float around the page. So there's a couple of circles and a semicircle and a few other shapes that float around the page, arranging and rearranging themselves into the forms of different animals. So on each page, the same shapes have arranged themselves in different ways to create a different animal picture. It really inspires some creativity and thinking outside the box. And after reading this book, I really wanted to cut out a bunch of shapes from paper and see how many different animals or things I could create with them, which is a fun activity to try yourself. So if you're looking for things to do, you can read Windblown and then cut out some circles, some semicircles, some squares, just a whole bunch of shapes, and just see how many things you can make them into. Our other activity today that I'm going to suggest, you will need aluminum foil and either paint or markers. I'm sure a lot of you have done painting and drawing, but how many of you have ever painted on aluminum foil? I hadn't even considered that this was an option, but I saw someone doing it online and the results actually looked really, really good. So I recommend it as something to try. So if you've got some aluminum foil, put it over something hard like a piece of cardboard or anything that can kind of help it keep its shape. And then get out your paints, or even a marker will work. and draw. Draw anything, color anything. If you don't have paint, you can use those markers. Watercolors won't work. You need some nice thick paint. And I read a tip that if you put a little bit of dishwashing liquid in the paint, it'll help it stick to the tin foil and not start flaking off later. So give it a try, see how it works, and tell me what you think. I hope you have some time to get creative and let your imagination soar even when we're stuck at home here. So make some art, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.